be here with a lot of people. As I think you will be aware by now, the EU is invited to observe these elections, and our team has been on the ground since the 6th of June. At this time, we have 10 analysts here in Harare, 44 long-term observers covering all 10 provinces. The presence of the EU Election Observation Mission demonstrates the European Union's commitment to conduct peaceful, inclusive, transparent, and credible elections in Zimbabwe. Over the past weeks, our observers have been meeting a broad range of stakeholders, including the Election Commission, political parties, candidates, civil society, and media. For the election period itself, we will have 140 observers in total, covering voting and counting all over the country. The EU Election Observation will remain in the field to observe the results process and any post-election legal disputes. So the job will not be over on the 30th of July, which I think is important to be helpful to get a peaceful development afterwards. There will also come 7 members of the European Parliament, the Parliamentary Observation Mission, in the days before the elections and afterwards. In line with our usual practice, we will issue our statement of findings only after the election in order to reflect on the entire process up to that point. During this visit, I have had the pleasure to meet with the President of Zimbabwe, the Chair of the Zimbabwe Election Commission, opposition candidates and parties, civil society groups, journalists, other international observers and representatives of the EU member states, the ambassadors, but also this morning with the churches, which also I have learned will have 1,100 observers in the field. These elections are a critical test of Zimbabwe's reform process. We will see with a lot of hope. The EU wishes to accompany Zimbabwe in its transition to satisfy the legitimate expectations of the Zimbabwean people and standards ready to engage further if the appropriate conditions are met. Elections are, in this regard, an essential step in a long and challenging reform process. And I believe also that such a reform process might change the attitude towards Zimbabwe, and we want to be helpful that this is possible, especially also for questions like sanctions, for questions like investments in this country, questions of making possible that Zimbabwe overcomes serious economic problems, which is partly interconnected, and therefore we hope that this reform process, including the elections, will be successful. Given the context of past contentious elections, great efforts need to be made to ensure public and political confidence in the 218 courts. In this regard, enhanced transparency, inclusivity, confidence in the integrity of the voter role, the peaceful conduct of the polls, and an environment whereby voters are truly able to express their will and cast a vote in secret are imperative. Therefore, we have also discussed rumors about the ballot paper and other questions, which is at the moment quite clearly here. My feeling is that the citizens see these elections with much more positive attitude than it was in the past, but it must be clarified that the security and that also the credibility of the reform process is seen also in this process from the very beginning. Free and fair elections are not only decided on election day, they are decided also in the weeks before. When it comes to the feeling of fairness for the opposition, when it comes to the situation that, for example, what is media access and such questions. We all assess the legal framework, the performance of the election administration, voter registration, candidate nominations, campaign activities, respect for fundamental freedoms, access to and conduct of the media, voting and the counting and transmission of results in the period after the polls. If a second round of voting is required, the mission will remain in Zimbabwe also for this. During my visit, I've listened to my interlocutors and heard their perspectives and concerns, as the mission will continue to do this over the coming weeks up to an end beyond election day to ensure we are in a position to later offer an informed and impartial assessment. At this stage, I do not want to start offering assessments on individual aspects of the process. It would be premature for me to do so. But I feel it is important to stress that in addition to the technical management of the process, great efforts need to be made to ensure transparency, inclusivity, enhancing the confidence of all stakeholders in the credibility of the preparation. Because this has a history of several decades that is especially needed to create this feeling of credibility. And a lot of efforts has to be done to achieve that. At the end of the day elections, we are both technical and a political exercise, and the confidence and trust of political stakeholders needs to be an important consideration. The creation of a brand new biometric voter roll for the elections is welcome. This has been a major effort by the SEC. However, I understand that a number of contentious issues related to the roll have been evident, including the process for sharing the roll. We look forward to hearing the results of the CSO voters roll audits and currently being undertaken, and hope that SEC will be in the position to ensure the list is as accurate and inclusive as possible for election day, with any anomalies addressed. The political campaign is in full swing. I was sad to hear of the 23rd June attack on the presidential rally in Bulawayo, and my thoughts are with all those affected. There is no place for violence in an election. More generally, it is clear that all parties have been able to hold rallies and meet voters across the country, which is promising. We hope the campaign can continue in this manner and with the absence of inter- or intra-party violence. We will continue to follow this, and we will assess in campaign freedoms, the use of state resources, any violent incidents, and also if media, and notably state media, provide fair and balanced coverage or not. The election observation mission has not been present for an election since 2002, as I said in the beginning. However, it is clear that elections in the country have often been a source of dispute and even conflict. As such, there is a low level of trust, and ordinary people are vulnerable to being unduly influenced or coerced. I would like to see all responsible institutions and local leaders assure the people of Zimbabwe that they are able to express their will in a secret vote on the 30th of July without coercion or fear of recrimination. What I want to stress here is that in making our assessment, we will consider the environment and context for the elections alongside the process in and around election day. As I mentioned at the outset, these elections are a critical test of Zimbabwe's reform process. The EU Election Observation Mission will undertake its duties in order to offer an impartial and informed assessment after election day. In the meantime, we hope that the presence of EU observers can be a source of support for the conduct of credible elections and a feeling for the voters that it's safe to vote for the candidate they like most. Thank you very much.
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.